Our next presenter is going to talk to you about the powerful potential of using mindfulness in your classroom. So please welcome my colleague from Codman Academy, second grade teacher Lindsey Minder, to the stage.
3 years ago, after over 5 years in the classroom, I found myself in a place where I figuratively and literally could not breathe. I was overcome by emotion on a daily basis. I was exhausted, frustrated, disheartened. I had lost the joy in teaching. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, and I didn't know what I was going to do next. It was at this point in my career and in my life that I realized self-care is not optional. It became a necessity for me to address my own needs before I was going to be able to address the needs of my students. Because I was not at my best, because I was suffering, so too were the kids in front of me. I couldn't take care of them if I couldn't even take care of myself. I got all sorts of advice from people. Some said I should leave teaching, I should step out of the classroom. Others said I should go to an easier school where the kids weren't so tough. I knew that teachers leave the profession for good reason, due to exhaustion, stress, burnout. I knew that good teachers leave schools where they're needed the most. I knew these statistics, and I was determined to not become a part of them. Now, my experiences, are not particularly unique. Frustration, exhaustion, not knowing what to do. Whether you're a teacher, an educator, a parent, a CEO, just being human, these are universal experiences. But I had to get help, and I did. And I started getting the same consistent message from my therapist, my yoga teacher, my family, and my friends. Linz, you need to slow down and breathe. But breathing is easier said than done, especially when you consider that this is where I spend the vast majority of my time. My classroom involves situations daily that literally take my breath away. I recognize that if I was going to make changes in my own life, those changes were going to have to start in my classroom. So I began observing my students more closely. And I developed a keen awareness and a true sense of empathy around their struggles and needs. When Tyreek would flip that desk because he made one mistake on his writing, when Miriam would scream across the room because she thought someone was looking at her the wrong way, when Ruthleen would put her head down and just sob because something felt too hard. I got it. I felt it. And I knew as much as I needed a skill set and strategies for handling these types of situations and these feelings, those kids needed it just as much as me. Together, we needed to become more mindful. Mindfulness has been defined as paying attention on purpose in the present moment without judgment. If you're anything like me, you might be saying, I don't do that very often. For many of us, this is not our normal state of being. Not only can it feel foreign, it can also feel incredibly uncomfortable. And for that reason, being mindful takes intentional practice. So if you're willing, take a moment to join me in what we call a mindful moment in my classroom, led by one of my current second graders.
Close your eyes or look down. Breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Be a mountain, lift your head up and have your back straight. Let the legs sink down, let the head float up. If you hear any noise, just ignore them. Breathe in and breathe out. Put your hand on your heart. Think of someone who needs love. Send love to that person as you breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly open your eyes.
It's through exercises like that that I started to realize the breath may be the easiest, cheapest, and most accessible tool that our students and we as adults can use. So sitting, listening, and breathing became integral parts of my classroom culture. Together, my students and I practice pausing so that we can respond rather than react when situations become challenging and our emotions get too big. The incorporation of these practices and this approach has allowed my classroom to become a place of compassion and empathy. But make no mistake, I do not take it easy on my kids. I don't water things down or lower expectations. Actually, these practices have allowed me to maintain, if not raise, the expectations for the students in front of me. Challenges are presented and obstacles must be overcome. But together, both the kids and I know that we have a skill set for dealing with challenges, all starting with our breath. Extensive research has been done around the use of mindfulness practices, and it's beginning to show the benefits in a variety of contexts, including schools. Care for Teachers, an organization focused on training educators in mindfulness, says that these practices allow teachers to be powerfully present and emotionally responsive. Mindful Schools, another training organization, has found the significant benefits for educators who participate in their trainings. I agree with these statistics. I am living proof that I feel better about my job, I can do my job better, and I am more connected to my students by adopting a mindful approach. I didn't leave teaching, I didn't leave the classroom, and I did not go to an easier school. Furthermore, even if only the educator is trained in the room, the students see benefits as well. My students are more engaged, they're more focused, they're more productive and willing to persevere through challenging tasks. They're less emotionally reactive, less impulsive, but more empathetic and kind. But they can tell you about it themselves.
I feel calm when we do mindfulness because everyone is quiet and I feel peaceful.
Important for teachers because teachers get so stressed and all that, and they have to copy, type very fast before the class comes. All this, it's not even close to I just gotta keep doing this, that, all that. So I think it's important because probably if you if you give the teacher hard times, it can kind of put their blood pressure up and they could go to the hospital, but we don't want no teachers to go to the hospital. When my aunt was being mean to me, I got a little bit sad, but I tried to keep it in. So I went into my room on my bed to do some mindfulness, in the classroom. And then I closed my eyes, then put in my two hands on my heart and took 3 deep breaths in and out. And then I went back downstairs to relax.
So, this begs the question, What could attention on our breath, what could a focus on mindfulness bring to our teachers, our students, our classrooms, and our schools? Furthermore, what could it bring to our city streets, our corporate boardrooms, our government, and our country? What could this world be like if we all took more time to pause and respond rather than react? Well, it starts with each of us here finding our breath and helping our children do the same.